What if I told you that like 95% of people preparing for their listening exams are doing it completely fundamentally wrong?
I mean, that is a massive number, but it's true.
Right. And what if the secret to a top score has literally absolutely nothing to do with having better English or, finding secret hacks?
That is the part that always shocks people the most.
It really does. Welcome to Everyday English Flow. Daily English practice, natural speaking, and effortless listening flow.
It is so great to be here to unpack all of this.
Yeah, and right up front, within the first 30 seconds here, I want to tell you exactly what you are going to learn today.
Let's lay it out for them.
We are going to give you the exact step-by-step preparation strategies that top-tier students use to master listening exams. And this is perfectly tailored for someone who is literally just starting their exam preparation today.
Which is so important because starting right prevents so many bad habits.
Exactly. But before we get into the actual steps, I need to share some crazy numbers to build this up because the numbers tell a wild story.
Oh, the data is just mind-blowing.
Like I said, 95% of students fail because they do the completely wrong things. But get this, top students spend exactly 80% of their time on just 2 specific sections of the test.
Yeah, they ignore the rest almost entirely.
Right. And you don't need to study all day. You need exactly 30 minutes of laser focus. So today, we are unpacking the 7 essential steps in our clear step-by-step marathon training plan for your listening skills.
The 7 steps. And honestly, this system completely goes against human nature.
It totally does. And that's why, if you are a beginner just starting your exam preparation or, someone desperate to get the score you need to move to the country of your dreams, this deep dive is literally for you.
It doesn't matter if you want to study or work or just get a visa.
Exactly. I want to inspire you guys right now. Natural ability is not the deciding factor here. It's just not. It is all about preparation strategy. And anyone can copy this strategy.
Yeah, you don't need a magical gift for languages. You just need a better blueprint.
But let's talk about the trap first.
Right.
Why are 95% of students failing?
Well, it's because they waste hours and hours memorizing vocabulary. And then they take endless mock tests without actually understanding the format of the exam.
Okay, wait, let's unpack this for a second. If taking mock tests and learning vocabulary doesn't work, what are we supposed to be doing?
I know, it sounds totally wrong. Right?
Yeah, I mean, isn't taking a practice test the best way to practice?
You would think so. But it is believed by top experts that a mock test is just a measuring tool. It just tells you how bad you currently are.
Oh, wow. That is harsh.
But it's true. It doesn't teach you the cognitive skills you need. You have to deconstruct the test.
So if mock tests are a trap, what is the very first secret to mastering the test format? Let's dive into step 1 of our marathon plan.
Step 1 is all about the difficulty curve and time allocation. You have to understand that the listening test has 40 questions.
Right, and they are split across 4 parts usually.
Exactly, and those 4 parts are not random at all. They follow a very specific difficulty curve.
Like a video game getting harder.
Yes. Parts 1 and 2 are deliberately easier. They ease you in. But parts 3 and 4, well, that is where the real challenge begins.
And I hear this phrase a lot when people talk about this transition. They say students end up hitting a wall.
Oh, absolutely. Hitting a wall.
Can you explain that idiom simply for us? Like, what does hitting a wall actually mean in this context?
Sure. So hitting a wall means to suddenly stop making progress. Like you are running fast and you just face an insurmountable obstacle and physically cannot go any further.
So the brain just sort of shuts down.
Exactly. Your working memory gets full, the vocabulary gets too hard, and you just freeze. The audio sounds like pure noise.
That is terrifying. But this is where the average students fail and the top students really shine, right?
Yeah, because the top students use the 20-80 strategy.
Which goes back to those numbers I mentioned earlier.
Right. Top students spend only 20% of their preparation time on parts 1 and 2, just to maintain their level,
And the rest.
They spend a massive 80% of their time agonizing over parts 3 and 4. But most beginners do the exact opposite. They waste all their time on the easy sections.
But wait, I have to ask, if someone is just starting out, shouldn't they spend more time on the easy stuff? Just to, build their confidence?
I hear that all the time, but no. It is a total waste of precious time.
Why, though? It feels good to get things right.
It feels good, sure, but it neglects the parts that actually determine your final score. If you ace the easy parts but crash on part 4, you still fail the test. Confidence doesn't equal competence.
Wow, okay. That is a hard truth. So now you know exactly where to spend your time, but how do you train for a conversation that you can never, ever pause? That brings us to step 2.
Step 2 is mastering artificial scenarios. And this is all about parts 1 and 2.
Right. So part 1 is usually two people talking, right? Like on the phone?
Yeah, they're exchanging basic info, a phone number, a date, maybe spelling a street name.
And the trap here is that this is an artificial listening situation.
Highly artificial. In real life, we rarely sit there in intense silence, intensely focusing on someone spelling out a license plate without asking them to repeat it.
Exactly. I would be like, wait, did you say B or V?
But on the test, you can't ask. So the strategy is to train specifically for form-filling scenarios.
And top experts say that the best students become absolute machines at this.
Machines, yes.
Let me just explain that idiom nicely. When we say you become a machine, it means acting automatically, flawlessly, and completely without hesitation.
Right, you don't think about the numbers, your hand just writes them down. It bypasses your analytical brain completely.
You just become a data entry robot. I love that. But then part 2 happens.
Yeah, part 2 shifts gears. Now it's just one person talking about a social topic, like a tour guide.
And students fall into another trap here. They think this is just like real life.
But it's not. In real life, you can say, "Excuse me, what do you mean by that?"
But here you only get one shot. They will not repeat things for you.
So the strategy here is super fun, actually. You have to listen to solo podcasts and videos on topics you actually love.
Wait, really? Not exam prep content?
No, exam prep content is boring. Your brain turns off. You should listen to a monologue about a video game you love, or baking, or sports.
Oh, this ties into that phrase we love, stealth preparation.
Yes, stealth preparation is the best.
Can you break down that concept nicely for the listener?
Of course. Stealth preparation is basically turning your commute or your lunch break into secret study time. It is enjoyable, so it doesn't even feel like work. You are sneaking the learning into your brain.
It's like hiding vegetables in a kid's fruit smoothie. I absolutely love that.
It works wonders for building your attention span.
It really does. Hey, real quick, if you are enjoying this everyday English flow, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep building those listening skills with us. We have a lot more to cover.
We really do. The test gets a lot harder from here.
Yeah, so we've survived the basic social topics, but what happens when multiple experts start aggressively arguing over each other? Step 3 gets intense.
Step 3 is navigating academic chaos. This is parts 3 and 4.
The test gets really serious here. Part 3 is multiple speakers in an academic setting, right?
Right, they're interrupting each other, agreeing, disagreeing, building on points. It's messy.
And the trap is just pure panic.
Complete panic. Students can't tell who is saying what, and they just get lost in the noise.
It's like trying to follow a tennis match, but there are 3 balls in play at the exact same time.
That is the perfect analogy. Your brain just whips back and forth and eventually gives up.
So what is the strategy? How do we track 3 tennis balls?
You have to seek out debate podcasts. Find shows with 3 or 4 speakers discussing academic topics. You train your ears to differentiate their voices and catch the interruptions.
You just listen to the rhythm of the argument.
Exactly. But then we have part 4.
Oh boy. Part 4. This is a single academic speaker delivering complex info, like a university-style lecture.
It is exhausting.
I call this the final boss.
Which is such a great term.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't play video games, let's discuss this idiom simply. The final boss is the ultimate, most difficult challenge at the very end of a journey. You are tired, your resources are low, and you have to fight the biggest monster.
And part 4 is definitely that monster.
So how do we defeat the final boss?
The strategy is to use TED Talks. But you don't just listen to them passively, you actively analyze the structure.
You listen for specific words.
Yes, transition words. Things like, firstly, however, in conclusion.
You call this signposting.
Yes, signposts or signposting.
Just to explain that term signposts are literally words that act as signs pointing to the direction the speech is going, like a street sign telling you to turn left.
Exactly. If a speaker says, however, your brain knows a contrasting idea is coming. You don't even need to know all the fancy vocabulary. You just follow the signs.
That relieves so much pressure. So we know how to handle the audio, but what about the actual questions on the paper? If you use the same strategy for all of them, you're falling into a massive trap.
Which brings us to step 4.
Step 4 is the tool belt strategy for question types.
Because there are over 10 different question types in these listening exams.
Over 10. And the trap is that most students just use one single strategy for all of them. They just try to listen hard and translate.
Which is a terrible idea.
I have an analogy for this. That's like using a hammer for every single home repair. Sometimes you need a hammer, sure, but other times you need a screwdriver or a drill.
That is exactly it. You can't fix a window with a hammer.
So let's analyze some of these specific strategies. What tool do we use for multiple choice tests?
Multiple choice requires the tool of prediction and elimination. You have to predict the answers and actively cross out the wrong ones while you listen.
Okay, what about map labeling? That's a totally different tool.
Completely different. Map labeling tests spatial understanding. You have to listen to directions while thinking of physical space at the same time.
And summary completion.
That one tests your note-taking ability and grammar prediction.
See, these are all totally different mental tools.
And luckily, it is believed that experts have created some really helpful free PDFs online that summarize all these strategies.
Oh, that's amazing. Our listeners should definitely seek out those comprehensive strategy guides for every question type.
Highly recommended. It saves so much time.
But I want to push back on one thing. Why is spatial understanding, like labeling a map, so difficult to do while listening to a foreign language? I mean, it's just left and right, isn't it?
It's cognitive load. Your brain is multitasking. When you decode a foreign language, it takes up a ton of your working memory.
Right.
So when you ask your brain to simultaneously build a 3D map in your head, it just runs out of bandwidth. It freezes.
Oh, wow. So it's a literal hardware limitation in the brain.
Exactly. You have to practice that specific skill to build the pathway.
So having all these mental tools is fantastic, but what happens if your brain completely runs out of energy halfway through the test? Step 5 is where the marathon actually begins.
Step 5 is the marathon method and stamina building. And this is so overlooked.
Totally overlooked. The core information here is that you must maintain focus for 30 continuous minutes.
Which feels like an eternity in a second language.
And the trap is that students fail not because they have bad English, but because they are just mentally exhausted and they lose track.
It's true. You imagine running a real marathon without doing any training when you are very unfit. You will just collapse.
You need what we call laser focus.
Yes.
Let me just explain laser focus simply. It means extreme, unbroken, highly targeted concentration, like a laser beam cutting through metal, no distractions at all.
But you can't just magically have laser focus on day one. You need a training plan.
So what is the plan?
Do not try to listen for 30 minutes on day one. You will fail.
Yeah.
Week 1, you just focus for 5 minutes.
That's fine.
Just 5. But it has to be perfect. Week 2, you move to 10 minutes. Week 3, it's 15 minutes. Week 4, 20 minutes.
And then week 5.
Week 5, you finally do a full 30-minute practice session.
What are the rules for this?
You have to use a timer, stay completely focused, and you must resist the urge to check your phone or let your mind wander even for a second.
Okay, wait, I have a question about this. 5 minutes seems way, way too easy for week 1. Why not just force yourself to sit through 30 minutes to toughen up? Like build some character.
Because you are building a habit of failure.
Really?
Yes. If you try 30 minutes right away, your mind will wander around minute 12. And you're accidentally training your brain that it's okay to lose focus.
Oh, wow.
You have to build the listening muscle gradually. This avoids burnout and frustration. You are teaching your brain what perfect focus feels like, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
That makes so much sense. So your stamina is built up, but there's a brutal reality about test day that most classroom teachers are actively hiding from you. Let's uncover it in step 6.
Step 6 is the once only brutal reality.
Let's talk about the classroom trap first. In a typical language class, what does the teacher do when students look confused?
They replay the recording 2 or 3 times, usually.
Yeah, to make the students feel like they are making progress.
But that is like a parent always letting their child win at games. It feels really good in the moment, but it doesn't prepare you for reality at all.
Because the brutal truth is, on test day, you will only hear things once.
Exactly once.
And honestly, in real life, too, a university professor or a boss giving instructions or an airport gate announcement, they only say it once.
So your strategy at home has to reflect that. When practicing with podcasts or videos, never replay immediately. Never. You listen once, answer the questions, and only then can you check the transcript.
That sounds super frustrating.
It is, which brings up a great concept. Discomfort means it is working.
Can you explain that concept for us? Because discomfort usually feels bad.
I know, but in simple language, feeling uncomfortable or frustrated when you miss an answer is actually a sign of mental discipline. It's your brain's muscle growing.
Like lifting heavy weight.
Exactly. If you embrace that frustration now, it guarantees you will feel much less uncomfortable on test day.
Discomfort means it is working. I love that. So you have the skills, the stamina, and the discipline. But there is a visible, real-world factor that can destroy your score before you even pick up your pencil. Let's look at our final step.
Step 7. Audio environment and high-altitude training.
Audio quality is everything. It can make or break your score.
Absolutely. If you can't hear, you can't answer.
So the strategy here is highly practical. Book computer-based tests to guarantee headphones.
Headphones are a game changer. They block out distractions like people coughing. They deliver super clear sound, which reduces your mental fatigue.
It keeps you locked in. But what if a computer-based test isn't available?
If you call the test centers and ask about their audio setup, be proactive.
And here is a crucial action point. If the audio is terrible on test day, complain immediately.
Yes. Do not wait. Demand a refund or a retest right there. Do not just walk out and complain online later to strangers.
Because Reddit can't give you your test feedback.
Exactly.
Now, what about time management during the test?
That's the thing. Unlike a reading test where you control the pace, the listening test controls you.
So there are no secret time hacks.
No time management hacks at all. You just have to flow with the test naturally by building that stamina we talked about and perfecting your strategies.
Which leads us to the ultimate training method, high-altitude training.
This is how you make the real test feel easy.
Because the trap is that test audio uses artificially clear English. The speakers talk really slowly, they pronounce everything clearly, they pause.
And real native speakers absolutely do not talk like this.
Not at all. So the strategy is to train like a marathon runner at high altitude where there is less oxygen.
Right. You make it as difficult as possible in your training. So when test day comes, which is like running at sea level, it feels incredibly easy.
So how do we do that? We listen to natural speed podcasts with people mumbling and interrupting. We watch movies without subtitles. We tune into live radio debates.
You make your brain work double time in practice, so the exam feels like a vacation.
That is brilliant. Well, we've covered our 7 comprehensive marathon steps, but don't go anywhere just yet because we have an exclusive bonus tip that will guarantee your success right after this final call to action.
It is time for some inspiration and a hard truth.
Give it to us.
While you've been listening to us, someone else is out there actually taking action.
Wow.
Watching or listening to advice is not taking action. Applying it, mastering it, and practicing with a timer is. Every single day you delay is another test fee wasted. Another visa deadline missed. Another day far from the country of your dreams.
That hits hard. So do your first 5 minutes tonight, set a timer.
It reminds me of a quote by a very important person, Lao Tzu.
Oh yes, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
Let's break that phrase down in simple language to motivate our beginners.
Sure. It basically means that no matter how huge and scary a goal is, like passing this massive exam or moving across the world, you can't do it all at once. You literally just have to take one tiny, small action to begin.
Just one single step, like a 5-minute focus session tonight.
Exactly. Just start. So I promised a bonus tip.
The ultimate secret weapon.
Here is the bonus. Top students prepare strategically by pinpointing their weak areas and turning them into strengths.
It's all about risk management.
Imagine walking into the test guaranteed to win. Why? Because you've eliminated every possible risk by understanding exactly where you could go wrong and you fixed it weeks ago. If you are bad at map labeling, you do 50 maps until you are great at it.
You turn your biggest fear into your strongest weapon.
So to everyone listening, please like, share, and subscribe to keep improving with us.
We love seeing your progress.
And we want to see who is truly committed. At the end, write, I am consistent in the comment box. I want you to make that commitment. At the end, write, I am consistent in the comment box.
And before we go, I want to leave the listener with a final provocative thought to ponder.
I love these. What is it?
Well, if practicing with messy, overlapping, mumbled, and completely natural English actually makes the test feel perfectly easy, it raises a fascinating question.
Okay.
How much of our daily communication in real life is actually just us filtering out the noise to find the true meaning?
Oh, wow.
Right? Think about how you listen to your native language today. How much of the mumbling and background noise does your brain just automatically delete without you even noticing?
That is wild to think about. We are all doing high altitude training every day and we don't even know it.
Exactly. You just have to train your brain to do it in a new language.
What a fantastic way to end. Thank you so much for breaking down this marathon plan. We will see you all next time on The Deep Dive.